Hello, welcome back. It's so good to see you. So today's video is the 2-year channel anniversary. What? Oh my gosh. So to celebrate, we are going to be eating some lunch together. And I also printed out all the questions that you guys asked on the community post and on, what is that called? Instagram. So we're going to be having lunch together and talking about the channel while I answer your questions. So it was kind of hard for me to decide where to go eat last year. I feel weird because the microphone's over here today. You're usually much closer, but I had to push you back and lift you a little up so that you could see the food. So I'm a little thrown off by that. But yeah, it was last year. I think we went to Arby's, but I don't really like fast food. So I did get fast food, but it's Chipotle. I got one of their bowls. So let me go ahead and open that, and then I'll show you what I got. It's a veggie. There's a big V on here. I don't know if you can see that. But yeah, because they have a lot of meat and stuff there. So I got a bunch of rice and other goodies. Is this going to come off easily, or does it feel like it? Okay. Oh my gosh. I don't know if you can see it, like, I don't know. So there's a bunch of lettuce on here. But I got that corn salsa. I got the brown cilantro rice. I think it's like cilantro lime, something like that. And then I got a little bit. Am I even going to be able to mix this up? They like. Do you hear that? It is crazy loud and stormy. Crazy loud and stormy. I don't think I'm going to be able to mix this up. This is like ridiculous. Yikes. I'm going to have to eat some of it and then mix it up, I guess. But yeah, I got the brown cilantro rice. I got some, I think, refried beans. Sometimes I get the black beans, but I just wasn't in the mood for black beans today. And then I got pico and guac and salsa and lettuce. I didn't get any queso because I forgot, so that is good. And I haven't eaten at all today, so I'm very excited about this. Oh, and I also got sweet tea. I didn't put any ice in there because I felt like it was gonna get watered down. But yeah, it is storming like crazy outside. I don't know where this is coming from. This is weird to eat this high up. I might end up have to take this down or something because I don't know, it's just weird. But anyway, so yes, why don't you get something to eat as well, and then we can have lunch together, or dinner, or breakfast, whatever time you're watching this. So I have questions. I have them actually taped behind you, but I think I'm gonna have to get those off because I'm wearing my contacts today and it's dark in here, so I can't really see them. Okay, let's see. Can I put them like right there? No. I guess I'll just have to hold them off to the side and then ask the questions. Okay, are you ready? Some of these questions are actually really good. I saved some of them for last because I thought they were just too funny. Okay, this is awkward. I usually don't have food in front of me like this. Okay, if you could go on a long vacation anywhere in the world, where would you go and why? Well, oh, and Ava's downstairs too. My husband has off today, so he's downstairs and he's eating. Oh, that's also hot. So, if you hear her running around, sorry. If I could go anywhere on a long vacation, where would I go and why? I would like to go on any vacation. I have never gone on vacation before, except when I was probably like a teenager with my parents. That was, I think it was like 20, something like that. And what is this lettuce doing? We went to Vegas. It was me, my mom, and dad, and my brother, and that was like so fun, so cool. But I've never really been on vacation, so I would like to go on a vacation anywhere. I don't care. It's just like vacations cost a lot of money, and I don't have a lot of money. Not to spend on vacation, you know. I'd rather pay bills and stuff. So, yeah, I'd like to go on vacation anywhere. That would be great. Have you always lived in Texas? No. I was born in Texas. I was actually born basically in the city that I live in. Probably like 10 miles, maybe 5 miles north of where I'm at, literally right now. And I've lived in Texas pretty much all my life. When I joined the Marines, I lived in South Carolina, North Carolina, and Missouri for a little bit, the amount of time that, like, different training facilities and stuff like that. But, you know, then I moved back home, and then my husband, when he joined the Army, we moved to Georgia, and that's where he had his boot camp and his AIT. So, but after he got out, we moved back to Texas because that's where both of our families are. So, yes and no. Let's see. Were both you and your husband in the military at the same time? If so, how difficult was it for you to maintain a healthy relationship? We were not in the military at the same time. I am 5 years older than my husband, and I met him when he had just turned 17. So he was a kid when we met, and I had already been in the military and gotten out of it by the time we got together. I do remember when he was in high school. I think it was high school. Yeah, it was. Marine recruiters kept calling him, and I think they even went to his house or something like that. I don't know. And he was like, they keep asking me to join, you know? And I was like, no. I was like, you can join any military thing that you want, not the Marines. Because I've been there, I've done that, and I'm allowed to say it. Marines are crazy. They are crazy. It took me a long time to get back to who I was before the Marines. They are crazy. And I just wasn't sure that he would be able to handle it, you know. um, I don't know. I was just like, mm-mm. I was like, you can join anything, but not the Marines. Don't do that. He ended up not joining anything for a while. He went to college, graduated college, and then decided to join the Army. So we were married by the time he joined the Army. But he had to go to boot camp, and I think we were separated for, I don't know, not 3 months. It was like maybe two and a half, something like that. I think it was like 9 or 11, something like that, weeks. It wasn't that long. But then he had to go to AIT, and that was like almost an entire year. So we were separated for a really long time, because when he was in AIT, which is basically Army college, we couldn't live together. So that was hard. That was really hard. We did talk almost every day that we could, not when he was in boot camp. But when he was in AIT, like the school, yeah, we talked every day. But it was weird, because like by the time I had moved to Georgia to be with him, it was like we had forgotten who each other was, like not, I mean, we knew who each other were, but it's like that distance was really hard. Like, I don't know how people do long distance relationships and stuff. It was just different when we got together, and it was cool, because it was like we got to fall in love with each other all over again. That was really cool. It was like I forgot how funny my husband was, and I don't know. It was really kind of cool. But yeah, I guess we just stayed in contact a lot, but it wasn't the same, So this is really, really hot. Really hot. I don't know if I got like the extra hot like salsa or whatever, because they had multiple salsas, and I was like, I don't know, just put that one on there. But there were no labels. There were no labels on anything, which was weird. Okay. What was your higher education journey like? I loved college, but it was really hard. Really, really hard. Oh, I saw a piece of rice like go flying, but I don't know where it is. Like, I don't want to say that I'm dumb, because I'm not dumb, but it takes me a little longer to understand things than, I guess, normal people. Like, I went to college with my sister. Me and my husband were in college at the same time, but we went to 2 different schools. But I took a lot of the same classes as my sister, and my sister is ridiculously smart. And like, so is my husband. My husband never studied once. Never. And he made straight A's. I'm like, ugh, how do you do that? Like, and I never saw him write any papers or anything. Like, I don't know what he was doing, but like, did he just write? I have to ask him that now. Like, how come he didn't have to turn in any papers? Or was I just too busy doing my schoolwork to realize he was doing schoolwork? I don't know. But school was really hard. But I liked it, because I got to learn what I wanted to learn. You know what I mean? But mean, I don't know what else to say about that. Like, what was your higher education journey like? Like, I didn't go to like a major university where, you know, you have like dorm rooms and stuff like that. I went to community college, you know, and then did classes that way. And like the community college that's literally by my house, it also has 4-year colleges and stuff like that. So there's no dorms or anything like that. But it has all the big major universities and stuff. So that's really cool. Let's see. Oh, what did you study? I studied a lot of stuff. My favorite classes were probably geology. I loved geology so much. Psychology, sociology, philosophy, history. I love that, but sorry, that was my phone. I thought I put it on super shut up, but I didn't. Sorry. How rude of me. I forgot what I was talking about. I don't know. But I really liked. I went to be a teacher, like a history teacher. But I ended up liking the psychology part more. I loved sociology and what did I say? Philosophy. Philosophy was my favorite. It's like I wish philosophy could have like more job opportunities, because philosophy is really, really cool. Really cool. Let's see. How are things with your multiple sclerosis at the moment? Not good. Right now, at this exact moment, I'm okay. I feel like I've been eating on this forever and it's still like tons. I'm definitely going to have to make an appointment to see a neurologist to talk about some type of medication, even though I don't want to take medication because it's poison. Because MS medication is really hardcore medication, and you can't just go to the pharmacy and get it. You have to have specialty pharmacies, you have to get approval, and you have to have insurance, and it's got to go through them, and like it's really expensive, really expensive. But I've had to break down and use a cane to walk a lot this week, and I don't like that. So I've decided that I'm gonna buy a super pretty, like, rhinestone type of cane, because I just have one of those regular, like, medical gray and black canes that are, like, ugly. And if I have a super pretty glittery one, maybe I'll not hate using it so much. But yikes. Gosh, I hope the electricity doesn't go out. But how is my MS business going? It's not going good. It really isn't. It was going good over the summer, but something happened at Christmas. I don't know if I had like a flare up or what, if I was under a lot of stress, but ever since Christmas it's been really hard for me. And like the other day I woke up and I tried to stand up when I got out of bed and I just fell straight to the ground. It's like my legs decided they weren't going to work, and I finally was able to get up and I was able to brush my teeth and stuff, so I was like, oh, maybe I just need to walk around, like stretch my legs out a little bit. So I was walking down the stairs very slowly, and I was going to take Ava outside to go potty. We made it out there, and then I fell, and I couldn't get back up. And this is at 5 o'clock in the morning. So I had to basically drag myself back into the house, and I got to the bottom of the stairs, and I couldn't move anymore. And so I just started screaming for my husband. And I was sick at the time. I'm still kind of sick. And so, like, as I tried to scream, my voice would crack, and I would only, like, very quietly whisper. And I was like, oh my gosh, he can't hear me. So I started banging on the wall. So then he heard me, and he came down. He was like, what's going on? I was like, I don't know. I need my cane. Like, go get it. So he went, and I was like, I need the cane or the walker or something, because I have both. And he went and got the cane, and then he helped me up. And I needed assistance, like, walking for the rest of the day. And then, like, I've been having knee issues and stuff, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. So, and I'm doing everything that I've done the same. So I don't know what is going on, where this, like, I couldn't feel my legs at all. It was really bad. So I definitely need to make an appointment, which I will. My aunt has already yelled at me. I'm gonna do it. It's just, they're gonna make me do another MRI. And then an MRI, even with insurance, costs like, I don't know, $600 to $900. And I don't just have that, So I'm gonna wait until the end of February. So I guess we'll see. I'm pretty sure there's more lesions on the brain, but right now, at this exact moment, I'm okay. What is your current modified gym routine? Okay, I was going to the gym, and then I had to stop going to the gym because I didn't have enough time during the day to be able to go to the gym. I was getting up at like 4 o'clock in the morning to go to the gym to be able to get everything done throughout the day. I would have to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. And then that got too hard, and the kids' schedules changed, and I figured it out. For me to be able to get everything done and still go to the gym, I would have to get up at 2:30 in the morning. And I'm like, I can't do that. That's too much. I was like, no. So I had to stop going to the gym. Which sucks because I was getting better at running. I've got knee problems and stuff because I broke my knee a couple years ago. But I was getting better at it. But yeah, so I don't go to the gym right now. Maybe this summer I'll do it again. I don't know. Okay. When you started YouTube, did you have any goals for the future of your channel? Have you reached them? Did I have goals? The goals was probably hopeful that somebody would watch the videos. I don't know. I remember YouTube thinks that my anniversary is like January 23rd or something like that. But I didn't upload my first videos until February 2nd. So that's the anniversary. um, I wanted to have a few videos, like, I don't know, 5 or something like that. So if anybody did find the channel and they saw a video, they would see that I have more than one like video on the channel, right? So I uploaded like 5 videos all on that one day. And I was just hoping that somebody would watch it, but I really didn't think that anybody would be able to find the stuff. And like, I think after an hour, maybe 2 hours, I checked it and I had like 5 views, and I was like, oh my god, I couldn't believe it. And I had already had like 2 subscribers, and I was just like, what? It was crazy to me, 5 views, 2 subscribers, but yeah, I don't know about like any major goals or anything. Have you reached them? I wanted someone to watch my videos, and someone did. So I guess I've reached them. My goal now is to get lots of subscribers, because that means I get to talk to more people. And then eventually, in like 15 years or something, I'll get like a little play button. I know that is like everyone on YouTube's goal, is to get at least one play button. How cool is that? Like, I think that's really cool. I always get so excited when I'm watching a YouTuber and they finally hit that like 100,000 subscribers, and then they do an unboxing of their YouTube button. It like makes me cry almost every time, because I'm just so happy for them, Okay, do you have a favorite memory about the channel or any of your videos? Favorite memory? Favorite memory. Hold on. Favorite memory. I can't really think of like. I like. Wait, I think that's answering another question. It says, which of your videos is your favorite and your least favorite? I'll probably answer that one. My least favorite videos would be like the inaudible whisper. Because I've only done that when someone requested it. And I do like doing your requests. But those aren't very fun for me to like go back and edit or make sure that it's, going through right, because it's boring to me. Like, I hate watching my own videos anyway, but like watching an inaudible whisper and like you're not into inaudible whispering, that sucks. I hate that. I hate it. And it's like, I don't know, but my favorite videos would be probably like shopping hauls and role plays. I haven't done a role play in a long time, but my 2 favorite role plays are the one where I work for like a modeling agency or something, but I'm Russian, and you come in and like you're applying for like, I don't know, to be a model or something like that, and you are just not good enough. Like, you suck. So I'm like super mean to you and stuff. And then there's another one that's my favorite, where I have a stalker and her name is Becca, and she breaks into my house and goes through my stuff. But she thinks that we're best friends. I like Becca, and my aunt, she was like, I really like Becca. So I don't know, maybe Becca will come by, break in the house again sometime. I don't know. Let's see. Does red shirt still flip discarded couches for profit? Okay. Red shirt, if you don't know, I talk about him in my neighborhood gossip videos. And he is the neighbor that when he moved in, he had a red shirt on. So he's forever red shirt. I want to say yes, he still does the selling. What does it say? Flip, yeah. Right now, I don't think he does, because I have not seen any new couches in a long time. I saw one before Christmas, and I was like, oh, he's still doing it, but I haven't seen any since Christmas. Like, I don't know if, like, people realize that you can just get free couches on Facebook, because that's what they would do. Him and his wife, they would go searching for, like, any online thing where you can get free furniture, and they would go pick up the furniture, clean it up, and then post it on the same sites and sell them for a couple $100 or whatever, and people would buy them. But it's like, I just saw this couch last week on there for free, and now they're posting it, and it's like $300. What? Which, it's a good idea, but when people realize that that's what they're doing, like, I don't know. But I want to say yes, but I think his business has slowed down a lot, and it's a good thing that he didn't quit his job, because his brother-in-law did quit his job, and now their business is like so slow, it's non-existent. So I think his brother-in-law is, I guess, had to get a job or something. Okay. What advice would you give someone who is on the fence about starting a YouTube channel? My advice would be do it, because it's fun. Like, I don't know, I guess it doesn't matter. As long as you are having fun, it doesn't matter what your YouTube channel is about. Like, and you're not in it for, I need this many subscribers, or I have to have this many views and stuff like that. Because if you're in it for, like, me, you know, then I don't think you'll be happy for very long, and I think you'll end up quitting it. I don't know. But I do my channel because it gives me something to do every single day, and it's fun, and I feel like I get to meet so many different people from all over the world. And I hear a lot of people say in videos like this, you know, be prepared, you better have some tough skin, and blah blah blah. But I have never had anybody talk mean to me. No mean comments or anything like that. I've had people misunderstand the channel. Like, when I do the shop with me's, I have, like, kind of a soft-spoken voice, you know, because what if somebody sees one of those videos and they're not an ASMR type person? Well, they can still enjoy the video. But I don't label them as ASMR, because technically they're not, they're shopping. But I've had people misunderstand, and they'll comment on those videos, and they're like, why are you talking so quiet? Well, because it's an ASMR channel, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not talking very loud, just in case somebody from my channel wants to relax and go shopping with me, you know what I mean? But I've never had anybody be mean or rude or anything like that. So I'm very grateful for that. But yeah, I would just do it. Like, that's how I started my channel. I watched Southern ASMR. I love her, by the way, and she is the whole reason that I have my channel. I watched her for years and years. I don't really watch her that much anymore, but I watched her for years. I found her because of her shopping videos, and I used to only watch her shopping videos. That's it. And she kept posting every day, and I was like, what are these things that she's posting? And I would find myself watching her videos. That's how I discovered ASMR, is through her. I had never heard of it, but I think it was her 4-year channel anniversary thing or whatever, and she always explains how she started her channel and, you know, whatever, and she says she's glad that she did it, you know, and I'm glad I did it too. But in that video, she was like, so if you want to start your YouTube channel, just do it, because who cares? If somebody watches it, they watch it. If they don't, they don't. And, you know, if you don't like it, you can delete your videos, you know, but it's always better to try something than to wish you tried something, you know. And I am so glad that I started this channel. Like, it's so much fun for me, and like, I learn things, you know, like, as strange as that sounds, like, I'll read stories to you, or like facts. I haven't done true crime in a long time, but I've been thinking about doing another true crime. We'll see. But like, I learn things from doing the channel, you know, and I just think that's so cool. And I get to talk to so many different people, and it's just really awesome. So definitely do it. If you find out that you don't like it, oh well, who cares? Okay. If you could eat only one type of food for the rest of your life, Italian, Mexican, Chinese, what would you choose? What would you choose? I would choose, I know I'm eating Mexican food right now, but I think I would choose Italian, because Italian food has so many options. You've got pizza, all the different pastas, I mean, breadsticks, just delicious, delicious stuff. And there's lots of Italian desserts and stuff as well. Like, I like Italian food, I guess, more than I like Mexican food, which is odd. I thought I would say Mexican food, but the more you think about it, Italian food has so many more options, so you'd get less tired of things, you know. Okay. If you could spend a whole day anywhere in the world with anyone, living or deceased, who would it be? Where would you go? Where would you want to go with them? And what would you like to do for the day? Well, if I could spend the whole day with anyone in the world, it would be my brother. Because I miss him. Where would you want to go? Probably to Astroworld. They closed Astroworld down in Houston, but before I went to the Marines, my brother and my sister and me, we all went to Astroworld together before they closed. And it was the best day. So we would go there. But I definitely would have to smack my brother on the back of the head, because my mom recently told me something about my brother that kind of made me mad, and I was like really pissed off, and I came home and I told my husband what he did. I'm not going to talk about it, but he did something that was like such a jerk move, and I'm like pissed about it. And I told my husband, I was like extra pissed because my brother is gone. He's not here. And I can't yell at him for what he's done. I mean, it's obviously something that happened a long time ago and it's over with, but he still needs a smack in the head. He does, for real. So I would smack him on the back of the head and then I would give him a hug. Brothers. Okay. What is something that might surprise people about you? I don't know. I would say, like last year, I would have said something like that I even have an ASMR channel, because last year no one knew. The only people that knew was my husband and my kids. And then I decided to tell my mom, because my sister knew and I was afraid that she was going to say something. So I told my mom, and my mom was like, what's this? Like, she had no idea. And now everyone in my entire family is probably watching this right now. My mother-in-law, father-in-law, my nieces and nephews, they all know. But like this time last year, everyone would be like so surprised. They were like, what? But like now everyone knows everything about me. So I don't really have anything that is surprising. I'm boring, I don't know. What is something on your bucket list once the kids are grown? I have no idea, because I'm so like, my kids are my whole life. So when the kids are grown and off to college, I'm probably going to cry. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna be that mom that like calls almost every day to ask how their day was, and like, I know, but like my whole world is surrounded by my kids. Like, they are my world. So I have no idea. Enjoy the silence for a little bit and then cry. What famous person would you love to meet, and what would you ask them or talk about? I've always said that like I like celebrities and stuff, but like I wouldn't want to meet them in real life, because that would be awkward for me and I wouldn't know what to say or do. It would just be weird. Yikes. I just feel like it would be weird, because like, what are you gonna say? That would just be weird. So I asked my husband, I was like, who would I care about meeting? And he said, oh, I know who, that lady that writes those books. And I was like, what books? He was like, I don't know, the books that you have everywhere. He's talking about Dolores Cannon. And yes, I mean, I guess she would be considered a celebrity. I don't know. If you don't know who Dolores Cannon is, go check her out. She's awesome. I believe in spirituality and stuff like that, and past lives and reincarnation, that kind of thing. So I would definitely want to talk to Dolores Cannon, and I would be like, okay, you have to give me a past life regression, and I would ask her like a billion questions. So yeah. What giant food would you choose to experience as one of the kids from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids? I haven't seen that movie in such a long time. I can't even really remember it. I think that I would have to do something like a cake or like a cookie or something. Nothing with like cream or something like that, because like my husband was like, ooh, an eclair, but I'm like, no, because you're tiny, you're like the size of a piece of rice. If you fall into that eclair or something, you're gonna die, you're gonna drown, you know. So I was like, I'll do like a cookie, because then it would be, I couldn't fall into anything, you know. And then it would be like climbing a mountain or something, you know, like, but not too high, because it's just a cookie. So okay, would you rather have a nice ghost in your house or a rude vampire next door? Okay, I really love that question. I would, I think that I would like to have a nice ghost in the house, because then we would be friends, and I could have them go check out on the kids for me, or, you know, I could ask them questions about beyond, and like find out stuff about their life when they were alive and stuff like that. But it would be really cool to have, what was it, a rude vampire next door. That would be so cool, because can you imagine the neighborhood gossip videos? Like, that'd be great. That would be great until it got dark outside, because that's when, you know, vampires like to come out. I just have to make sure never to invite them in the house, right? Because if you don't invite them in, they can't hurt you while you're in the house. Okay. This is this is interesting. You are magically put in charge of the whole world and get to have your ruler of the whole world castle wherever you choose. Where is your castle? I didn't know how to answer that, and so I asked my son. I was like, where should the castle be? And he said, in the clouds, so that you can oversee the whole world and you can be up in the sky. And I said, yes, but I want the clouds, at least where my house is at, to be solid. I don't want to fall through the cloud, you know. So okay. Oh, and it says, and lastly, and perhaps the most important question of all, what do you name your pet unicorn, and what are their powers? I decided that my pet unicorn is going to be named Sprinkles, like Angela's cat from The Office. And I'm imagining that my ruler of the world house is in the clouds, so I have the unicorn can fly, and we can, you know, fly around the world. But whenever it like is on the ground and then it jumps up, like you have money sprinkling down, so you just always have money. And I guess everyone, you know, kind of like when you see a rainbow, at the end of the rainbow there's a pot of gold. Well, if you see the unicorn, you know that there's going to be money somewhere there, right? So those were interesting questions, right? I really liked the questions a lot. I don't think I can eat any more of this. This is like a lot of food. Anyway, so yeah, it's 2 years. I cannot believe I've been on YouTube for 2 years. I really hope that you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon.